pause here, continue next class. What else can we do? Here's an example. It says this. A, if a 60-watt bulb is left on all month, 30 days, 24 hours a day, find the amount of energy it will use in joules. B, repeat it in kilowatt hours. And C, given that BC Hydro charges 7 cents per kilowatt hour, how much will it cost to leave a light bulb on nonstop for an entire month? Okay. You know what? The very, very first thing that I would do, I would probably go, because there seems to be a part A. And I kid you not, Jordan, I'm big on that. The fact that it's no longer blank, I've learned over the years kids are now less anxious. The next thing I ask, reading part A carefully, what do they want me to find? And that I can't really help you with. All I can say is use your knowledge of English and grammar to read the question. So Aiden's going to sit up and look a little less lethargic. He's going to think happy thoughts of faith and trust and pixie dust. He's going to be alert. He's going to be alive. He's going to turn to where we are. Thank you, Aiden, for meeting my minimum expectation. Folks, what's this question asking me to find? And your hint is look for words like find or what is or determine. What's it asking me to find? What? I don't see the word how long anywhere in this question. It's a good thought. You probably are. Thanks, Aiden. Leah, help him out. Okay, we're here. What's it asking me to find, folks? Mitra. That's later on. Part A. Find part A. What's it asking me to find? I'm looking for one word. Taya. Amount of what? Amount of what? Energy. What's it asking me to find? Energy. Which on my formula sheet is which symbol? What letter have we used for energy? Capital E. You know what? Let's write down E equals question mark. And I hope, Nicole, just by doing that, you're now looking at the yellow section of your sheet that has a capital E in it, which I think is the third box. Okay? And I'm already thinking, hey, it looks like to find energy, I need power and I need time. Maybe they told me that. Because the equation says E equals PT. Now we go back and let's read. And Kiana, what we're looking for are numbers or numbers written out in English. So if they typed 30 like THIRTY, I recognize that's a number. And the units next to them. So the first thing that I see is that. Watts 60. What? Someone said it. I heard it. How do you know? Because power is measured in watt? Oh, power is measured in watt. So I can say, you can put the watts next to it if you want to. I sometimes do, I sometimes don't. But power. What's the next thing you see? It's left on, 30 days. Looking at the equation for energy, what do you think that 30 days is? Amelia, time. But there's a problem. I have to make time in seconds. I always ask, because sometimes someone knows. Anybody know how many seconds are in a day? Sorry, first of all, I should say, anybody know how many seconds are in 30 days in a month? Yeah?
2 million.
Oh, convince me. How did you figure it out, Taya? 30 days? Okay. Times 24 hours per day.
I did 24 times 3,600.
Which works. Where'd that 3,600 come from? So this is 30 days. I'll put a D there for days, times 24 hours. I want to get this to seconds. Does anybody know how many seconds are in an hour? Taya does. But if you don't, what can you break hours into? What do you know how many something of in an hour? Minutes? Oh, okay. How many minutes in an hour? Times 60 minutes. How many seconds in a minute? So I will feel okay on your test giving you a time in days, just because for electricity, Candace, that's usually how it's measured, but you'll have to convert it to seconds. Times by 24 hours, times by 60 minutes, times by 60 seconds. Did I say you should have a calculator? Good. What is 30 times, well, let's see. I got my trusty calculator here. Gesundheit. 30 times 20, times 24 times 60 times 60. And yeah, Taya, if you're really clever, you notice 60 times 60 is 3,600, and that was your shortcut. You impressed me. I get 2592 and 3 zeros. 2,592,000. Basically, a month is about 2.6 million seconds. Not quite. 259200. Sorry, 2592000. 3 zeros, right? And even the small calculators hopefully can handle that big a number, Dan. I hope. Okay. So there's time. I'm now looking for an equation that has E and P and T in it. Is there one? It's on your yellow sheet somewhere. Is there one? Nate, could you read it to me, please? Read me the one that has the E by itself, please. If I write PT, we've learned enough math to know that that means times when they're side by side, and I'm that lazy. Oh, Nate, what is the power? How many watts in this question? What's the time in this question in seconds? Don't say 30. How many, does anybody remember what we measure energy in? What were the units for energy? Began with a J. Joules, very nice. How many joules of energy will you use leaving a light bulb, a 60-watt light bulb, on for an entire month? Now, this may be too big for some of your calculators. On your test, I'll keep the numbers a little smaller, but I wanted to make something realistic here. I get 1, 3 5s, a 2, and 4 zeros. 1, 3 5s, a 2, and 4 zeros. I get 155,520,000 joules of energy. Mateo, how many light bulbs is that? 1. Do you have more than 1 light bulb in your house? Okay, this is why your parents' energy bill that they get from BC Hydro is not measured in joules, because the numbers, they'd have all of their energy bills would probably be in the billions, maybe in the trillions. So instead, they get their energy bill in kilowatt hours. B says repeat in kilowatt hours. I gave you on your yellow sheet a conversion factor for kilowatt hours. I told you that 1 kWh, kilowatt hour, is equal to what? You don't need to memorize this, but you need to know where it is on your sheet. Okay, you guys see where it is? 3 million. So here's my question. How can I use that to change joules to kilowatt hours? Yeah.
I divided the 155 million by the 3 billion.
Okay. To go from joules to kilowatt hours, you're going to go like this. 155,520,000 divided by 3 3,600,000. Mr. Dueck, how will I remember that? Ready? Kilowatt hours is always smaller than joules. How do you make a number smaller? Divide or multiply? Divide. There's a better way to remember it using mathematics, but for now I'm going to keep it simple, stupid. Divided by 3 million, is it 5 zeros?
Yeah.
Yep. You get 43.2. See, that's a much nicer number, Kiana, to put on a bill. 43.2 is nowhere near as terrifying as 155,520,000. People would freak. 43.2, and then the abbreviation for kilowatt hours, well, kilo is lowercase k. What's the abbreviation for watt? Capital W. And hours, lowercase h. Okay. C. C. Hey, Hudson, what's part C asking me to find? I'll give you a hint. Find the word find and look for something nearby it. Nice yawn. Thank you, Hudson. That was impressive. You threw your voice all the way across the room. That is some mad skill you got there. If the whole, hair thing doesn't work out, you can always be a ventriloquist and go on the road. You'll impress people. That was pretty good. I never saw your... Did you see his lips move at all in that one? And it did sound like it was coming from across the room, right, Kiana? That was pretty good. Sorry. What are they asking me to find, Aiden? Cost. Hey, I wonder if Mr. Dueck gave you a box that has cost on it somewhere.
No.
Yeah? How can I find cost? What did I say? It equals what?
Kilowatt hours.
Kilowatt hours times the rate. So kilowatt hours, 43.2, times, what's the rate that BC Hydro charges? Now, 7 cents is correct, except they would never give them an answer in cents. They would go like this, $0.07, right? Because we do math with dollars in the real world. You're okay with 7 cents being $0.07? I'm going to assume you've all counted money. And this is the problem and the good thing here in BC. What would it cost to leave a light bulb on for an entire month? Really? How much? $3, which sadly is not that much money. It's $3.02. Let's be fussy. We are so good, Omid, at making electricity cheap here in British Columbia because we have the mountains and the hydroelectric power, that electricity is pretty cheap. So then why are we telling you all the time to shut lights off? Why are we telling you all to save power? Why? Well, first of all, from what you've seen, Mateo, of our society, and you guys have lived here for 14 or 15 years, do you think 15 years from now, we're going to be using more electricity or less electricity?
Less.
You think we're using less?
Yeah, because they're going to come up with other ways.
I think they'll come up with other ways of creating electricity, maybe, but I don't think we're going to be using less electricity. Electricity, Mateo, is such a convenient way to move energy around, and we can make it sing, and we can do a lot with it. I think as technology progresses, for example, what's the future of cars? Gasoline? What are you starting to notice on the road now? Electric cars, right? But we haven't budgeted that into our provincial grid. If everybody got an electric car right now, it would fry the grid. We'd have to either build more dams or, why do we shut lights off? You were right. What did you say? No, someone else said it. I missed out. Save power. What we want to see if we can do, Mateo, is carry on with our current amount of electricity because we don't want to have to build more dams. They do generate power, it's true, but it doesn't do good for our salmon runs, for our rivers, for our waterways. So, why do you shut the lights off? To help the earth. Yeah, okay, to save $3, fair enough, but really, Leah, to help the Earth. Now, if you left 40 lights on at your house, absolutely that adds up. And also, you're shutting the lights off, you're turning things off to save power. Financially, it does add up, Jordan, but it doesn't add up to like $1,000. It adds up to about $50, but it adds up to a better Earth. Multi-step questions. I like these, I like these, I like these. Why would I say I like these? Did you hear me say it's going to be on the test? Or are you just kind of the kind of student that tends to notice these things? Okay. Here we go. It takes 10 kilojoules of energy to cook a hot dog. That's correct. I looked it up. If a 30 ohm hot dog, that is the resistance of your average hot dog, I looked it up, is connected to 120 volts, if you plugged a hot dog in, don't do this at home. How long will it take till it's cooked? What's this question asking me to find? And I think this is the one that Aiden was reading earlier. Yeah, time. What's your phrase that means time? Read the question. What's the phrase that tells you we're looking for time? How long? How long? How long either means distance or time, but in this case, how long until it's cooked, I think it means time. So you know what? I'm going to write down By the way, what's the only equation with time in it that has time by itself? You know what? Let's make a little note. T equals E over P. Where did I write what? I left a space because I know I'm going to have to show some more work, trust me, which is why I didn't write it right underneath. Okay, to find time, it appears, Lyndon, that I'm going to need energy and power. What's energy measured in? No, power is measured in watts. What's energy measured in? Who remembers the units? Joules. Did they tell me energy in this question? Sort of.
Yeah.
Right there. The energy is 10 kilojoules. How do I go and get rid of kilo? Did I put that on your yellow sheet? I did. Find it. So if they give me kilo, how can I get rid of kilo? What does your yellow sheet say? Times by 1,000. I think I can do that in my head. 10 times 1,000 is 10,000. The amount of energy that this hot dog needs is 10,000 joules. In fact, I can tell you down here, the top number is going to be 10,000. Yep. Yeah, 10 times 1,000 is 10,000. Trust me. Oh, times 10,000. Sorry, what I should have done, you're right, I should have done this, equals 10,000. I was doing two steps in my head. Riley, candy for you later, remind me. You caught me in a mistake. What else do we need? What's this P stand for? Power. Power is measured in what?
Watt.
Read the question. Do you see watts anywhere? That's why this is a multi-step question. This is a two-step question. You know what? You know what? You know what? What else have they given me? Now I'm just going to read, and I'm looking for numbers and units. I see a 30. What's that 30?
Ohms.
Ohms, which is what? Current? Voltage?
Resistance.
Oh. Let's write that down. This is part of my D, listing my data. What else have they given me? What's that 120? How does that help? I'm going to pause because sometimes I have a kid that sees it. Otherwise, I'll walk you through it. But believe it or not, we can take this the rest of the way now. How does that help? What else can I find from those two? Ah, Amelia, did you hear? Oh, your brain just, what else can I find from those two? I can find current? Oh, okay. I equals what over what? V over R, which would be 120 over 30. What is 120 divided by 30? I think 4? Double check me, I'm doing it in my head. Yeah? 4 units for current. Units for current is what? I know it's been a while. Amps. Okay. Okay, I also have current. How's that help? What am I trying to find here? What do I want down here? No? Oh, sorry, overall, you're right, overall. But to find time, what am I trying to find in this blank? What does that P stand for? Power. So? Do you see it still? Do you see what can I do now? Okay, so how's that help? Hey, on your yellow sheet, is there a way that I can find power? Mateo. What? I know it's E over. There's another one that has power in it as well. Power is what? V. Check. Do I have that? Yeah. Times what? Do I have that now? This is a multi-step question. Okay. You have all the, and there's going to be a few of these in your homework. There's going to be a couple of these on your test where I give you everything you need, but cannot, not blatantly. You're going to have to hopscotch your way there. And all I can say to you is don't panic. And anytime you write something, say, hey, what else can I find? Do I have a formula that has these things in it? Will it help me find something else? That's why I've given you that yellow sheet. And that's why, Kevin, I keep going on this rant about look with your eyes, go spot stuff. Look with your eyes, go spot stuff. So if I hear you correctly, you're saying power equals that, which is going to be 120 times 4. So did this question tell me the power? Not directly. But Oma, did it tell it to me indirectly? Absolutely. What is 120 times 4? 480 watt. Oh, watts. I'll never get tired of that joke. And I can plug it in down there. And that's why I left that space, because I knew I was going to have to do a bit of work. Okay. Please don't do this at home. But if you wore insulating gloves and you did try cramming a hot dog wiener into a power socket, or you know what? Instead of doing it that way, if you just stripped the plug and connected one end of the wires to one end of the hot dog and the other end of the other wire to the other end of the hot dog and ran a current through it, how long would it take to cook? Oh yeah, you can find lots of people doing it online. Got people that know what they're doing with electricity? Yeah. But you have to have good equipment and have to be very safe. I wouldn't. It would burn it. This will char it. This will not cook it nicely. This will, you know what? Replace the word cooked with completely heat up all the meat and char. Then yeah. You get 20.8 seconds. And time is measured in seconds. A couple of more, we're done. Okay. Is this the last one? Nope. Two more. Yeah, a couple more, we're done. All right. Sandy spends 20 minutes straightening her hair with a hair straightener. Hudson, take notes. It's a hair straightener, see? Okay. During this 20 minutes, the straightener uses the same energy that a 60-watt light bulb uses in 5 hours. What's the power rating of the hair straightener? Wow. Oh, show all your calculations. This is probably, Lena, tougher than I'll ask you on a test. I would be okay giving this to you in the homework because I always want the homework to be nastier than the test. So there is one like this in the homework. First thing, What's this question asking me to find? Amelia. You know what? I can go like this. Now, I'm going to give you some strategies. Pierce, do you notice how we have two appliances actually in this question? There's a hair straightener and there's a light bulb. Okay? I'm going to go like this. And this is going to be information for the bulb, because I don't want to get the numbers mixed up. And now let's read and see what they gave me. Jordan, the first number I run into is 20. What's that? Voltage? Current? Minutes is not I know it's minutes, but what is it? Time. Oh, okay. T equals, except do I like my time in minutes? Everybody say no.
No.
How do I change it to seconds? Okay. Can you multiply that by 60? How many seconds are we talking about here? 1,200. By the way, is there an equation that has power and time in it? Because now that I've done this, that's what I'm probably hunting for. Is there one? Yeah? Which one has power and time, has the P by itself? P equals E over T, is that what you said? Okay, so I'm going to leave a space because I think I got to show more work, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going like that. Riley, you see how we figured that out? We looked at the yellow sheet and, okay. Oh, and I know time, so I could even go like this. The bottom is going to be 1,200. By the way, do you also see I'm trying to, Damien, fill in blanks whenever possible so that my question is less blank? Even if I'm frozen now, at least I've done some stuff. I might get some part marks here. What did we say this question's asking me to find? Power. But look, what's this question really asking me to find? What am I going to spend most of my time trying to figure out? Energy. The energy. Because that's what I'm missing. All right. How can I figure out the energy? Well, apparently it uses the same amount that this bulb uses. If I can find how much energy this bulb uses, I can move that number, thunk, right to there. Is that okay, Tristan? Okay, what have they told me about the light bulb? And that's why I divided my page in half so, Kiana, I wouldn't get stuff mixed up, right? What have they told me about the light bulb? A 60, what's that? Oh, they've told me the bulb has power 60. I'm already starting to think to myself, is there an equation that has energy and power in it and has the E by itself? Is there? What's the equation that has energy and power in it and has the E by itself? E equals P times T. And I know the power. Oh! You know what I need to figure out for the light bulb? What's missing here? Time. Did they tell me the time for the light bulb? Oh, 5 what? I don't like that. How do I go to seconds? So Taya has noticed that you're going times by 60, and I love the fact that you said, you know what, I've clued in, there's 3,600 seconds in 1 hour, but just so we don't lose people, we'll go times by 60 minutes, times by 60 seconds. So the time is really 36 times 5 hours, right? 18,000 seconds. 18,000 seconds. How much energy did the bulb use? That number times 60. By the way, if you have a scientific calculator that's got an answer button, it's really handy because it stores your previous answer. It can save you a lot of typing. Just saying. And I get 108 with 4 zeros, 1,080,000 joules, because energy is in joules. 108 with 4 zeros. By the way, do you hear how I say that? That's how I copy from my calculator, because calculators are tricky to read. I'll almost always read the non-zero digits and then just how many zeros do I add at the end so I don't miss any. 108, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, that many joules. Can go there. 108, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, that many joules. How many watts of power does her hair straightener use? Divided by, it's about right. Turns out curling irons and hair straighteners, oh, do they get hot? Do they move lots of heat around? Of course they have a high wattage. Of course they do. So that now that I see that answer, Brianna, doesn't surprise me as much. Yeah, that's about right. By the way, I will try and make up actual pretty close to real life numbers for most of my appliances. I want you guys to have a gut instinct of what's too big and what's too small. One more. How many minutes would a 60-watt light bulb remain lit if powered by 564,200 joules of energy? How many hours? What's this question asking me to find? Time. Let's write down T equals question mark. It's no longer blank. I feel better. What else have they told me? Power is 60. I'm already now thinking to myself, I bet you there's an equation that has time and power and other stuff and maybe has the time by itself. Is there an equation that has time and power and other stuff and has the T by itself? T equals, sorry? E over P. Oh, so did the question also tell me the amount of energy? It did. 564,200 joules of energy. Oh, this is plug and chug. I didn't need to leave this much space. I'll write up a little higher. Oh, E equals, Mr. Dueck? T equals, what did we say it was? E over P. By the way, I don't have these equations memorized. Why would I? I got them on my sheet. I just know that they're out there. It's going to be 564,200 divided by 60. I get that there. You get 940. Did I type that in right? 9403.333 repeating. All right, 9,403. What? No, sadly this time it's not watts. What did we just find, Aiden? What did we just find? Time. This is why I'm telling you it's worth memorizing what units go with what. What do I measure time in? Seconds. Seconds. Ah, what does this question want me to convert the seconds into? Minutes and then, okay, so how do I go from seconds to minutes? Divide by 60. T, how about I'm going to go T with a little min for minutes, is going to be 9403 divided by 60. Conveniently, I have this number still stored on my calculator, so I'm going to use my answer button and divide it by 60. 156.722. By the way, if you round it off, I'd take 156.8 or 156.6. I wouldn't take 170 and I wouldn't take 120. You've rounded off way too much. 156.7 minutes. How can I convert that to hours? also divide by 60. T hours is going to be 156.7 divided by 60. Again, conveniently, I have this number stored on my calculator. 2.6 hours. 61 hours. If you said 2.6, I'd take that. I'd probably take 2.5 or 2.7. Okay. Lena, these are the multi-step questions where you have to find something and use that to find something and then use that to find something. I kind of like them because I treat them almost as mathematical or physics jigsaw puzzles where you're going to hopscotch from one thing to another thing. I like them that way as brain teasers. Lena, am I going to put 15 of these on your test? Say no. Am I going to put probably 2 of these? Maybe 3? Yeah. But I'll put a lot more of the straightforward ones that are kind of plug and chuggish as well. What's your homework? So first of all, I wrote here, complete the following on a separate piece of paper. Okay? Yeah, this works. That works. That works. Circuit breakers, that works. Again, for all of these, if you defix, so for example, you might say, hey, Mr. Dueck, in number 2, what does number 2 want me to find? Current. Ah, wait a minute. In the picture, they gave me the voltage. And in the picture, they gave me the resistance. I can find current. Okay? By the way, remember, and we've forgotten this, it's been a while, current flows in this direction from positive to negative. Electrons flow in the other way, but I've done my rant, Damien, about how Benjamin Franklin named them wrong, and we would much prefer to be dealing with positive numbers. So that's why the current is going clockwise, why it says in brackets. So you can try this on a separate piece of paper. And then, can you look at 9.2 homework? You can certainly, I'm going to pick and choose a little bit here. I handed this out already that same day. So now see if you can find this puppy. It's probably going to be close to where your notes were. Well, I think it's more of a challenge for some people than for others. Oh, sorry.
Hey, I found it.
Oh, bravo. Congratulations. You met the minimum expectation I have for every one of my students. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. You know what? Here we go. This works better. I'm so proud of you. There is a gap there. Everybody find it? If you don't have it, now's the chance to fess up.
I don't understand. I always have my own.
Okay. I think on this page, try all of them. Okay? On the first page. Second page, these are trickier. Some of these are multi-step. I am going to say try all of them. Please notice a lot of the time they're giving you the time in hours, in kilowatt hours. You have to do some conversions. And I'll help you with this if you get stuck. Number 1 is good. Number 2 is good. I'm not wild about number 3 on this page. So where it says paying for electricity, I like 1, I like 2. Not wild about number 3. And I think you can do all of these. So you got, I was hoping to give you 35 minutes. You're going to get 25 minutes, close, to finish both this and the other one. I think you can get it all done, or pretty close to it. This and here. Now, hang on.